I'm 22 years old. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, so let's get ready and talk about feeling lost. I'm feeling a little bit depressed today. I don't know if it's because I'm on my period or what, so we're gonna talk about something that's gonna make me feel even better. I think because summer's almost over and the fall's coming up, and this is my first fall not going to school, it's low-key really stressing me out and really making me realize that, like, I don't have a plan. I hate when I feel like I live in this, like, cycle where every day is the same and I'm just like, okay, this week's done. This week's done. Like, I'm just, like, waiting for the week to be done, and then I'm like, okay, let's start a new week. I don't even really know how to describe it. I just feel like every day is the same. And when the school year starts and I'm seeing, like, my friends and stuff back at school, I'm gonna be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm just gonna be working. I really don't want to go back to school. Like, that is something that I really don't want to do because I hated school. It ruined my mental health. So I really don't want to go back. But I don't know. Like, I'm so freaking stressed and I'm putting so much pressure on myself because I don't know what I want to do. I feel like whenever I talk to people, they all have a plan, or like they're working in a job to like help them get to where they want to go. And here I am, you know, working at my retail job, and it's the only thing going for me. And don't get me wrong, like, I love working at Garage. Like, I love my job so much. But obviously that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. But the thing is I have no idea what I want to do with my life, and I don't know how to like figure it out. It's actually stressing me out so much, and like sitting here and talking about it, it's literally giving me anxiety. Like, my stomach's hurting because I'm talking about this, because it's just like, it's so stressful. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I am doing, and I just don't know. Like, I'm also putting this pressure on myself to move out. Nobody's putting pressure on me to move out, but like, I feel this pressure to move out. Like, I feel like everybody in their early 20s has moved out, has lived on their own at some point, and I haven't, and I'm just like, I have to move out. Like, I need to move out. Like, when is it not appropriate to live at home anymore? Like, when are you supposed to move out? When are you supposed to just like say peace out to your childhood home and live on your own? Because I don't know. But then I stress about moving out, and nobody's forcing me to move out. I just have this like anxiety about moving out, like how I'm gonna afford it, and then living like without my mom. Like, I know, like, I'm 22, but bro, like, I need my mom. Like, I'm sorry. And then I'm also stressing about the fact that I've never been in a relationship, and how like I'm supposed to get married in my late 20s, but I've never been in a relationship. Like, I'm putting this like idea in my head that I'm supposed to get married in my late 20s. Nobody's putting that idea in my head but me. But I've literally never had a boyfriend, so like, how the hell am I supposed to get married? I feel so lost and so confused, and I'm really scared that in a year from now, I'm gonna be in the exact same position that I am right now. And I know I'm young, I know I literally just graduated university a few months ago, but it's just hard when you feel like everybody knows what they're doing and you're the only one who doesn't. I'm also just terrified to move out on my own, and I keep waiting for my friends to be like, oh yeah, I'll move out with you, like, I'll live in Toronto with you. But the thing is I can't just wait for them, you know. I have to learn how to do things on my own, but it's like, it's terrifying to me. Like, it's so scary. I just feel like I'm becoming the age where I really need to figure my shit out, but I don't know. Whenever I'm reading a book and it's like a girl living on her own in a big city, I'm like, yeah, I could so do that. Like, oh my gosh, that's the dream. That's what I want to do. But it's literally a book. Like, it's not even real life. Like, my life would be nothing like a book. I don't know. I'm just feeling off today, and I'm feeling all this pressure, and I wish I knew what I was doing. Like, I wish I had a plan, but I don't, and it's just really stressful. I just don't want my life to be nothing. Like, I want to do something with it. I don't know. I don't know, okay? I don't know. Oh my god, I'm gonna freak out. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna go. I feel sick, so bye.
Get ready with me to go live while I give you a story time about this diva I met yesterday. Let's get a picture. Right, anyway, what a queen, but there's a lot to that video. Right, so basically what happened was, I was sitting in my train, like, going home, and then, like, in the other carriage there was these, like, you know, 14-year-old boys. There's like a few of them, and basically this girl heard them speaking about me because they could see me in the other, you know, carriage. So apparently they were calling me like gay boy Isaac and all this, and then she didn't know who I was, but then she was like, who is this gay boy Isaac? So she comes storming in. Well, this is when the train stopped and then boys got off, and these little cheeky little boys come at my window. As basically, these boys were at the window, like, recording me and stuff. Obviously, I was, like, posing for the pictures because I don't really care. But, like, yeah, so then this diva comes, you know, marching through, and she's like, are you gay boy Isaac? And I was like, yeah. So then, yeah, I was like, what the hell? Anyway, honestly, I love this queen. She was like a lesbian herself, she said. But yeah, so she was coming here to, like, stick up for... She thought maybe I was getting bullied or something. She didn't recognise me at this point. So yeah, she thought I was getting bullied, so she came to, like, stick up for me, which is honestly the cutest thing ever. But yeah, then after we were, like, speaking for a while, I was with my friends as well. And then she, like, clocked that it was me. And I was like...
You're the one that gave! Oh my god! Hey guys! Absolutely not! Oh my god, you bitch!
And then, guys, after a little while of her speaking to me, she realised that she's been sending videos of me to her girlfriend, like, and she, you know, her girlfriend loves me. So, yeah, that was really funny. And then she got up, like, the video and then realised it was me. And then we all just started screaming. I don't even know. It was honestly chaotic. And guys, nothing bad happened to me. Like, honestly, I don't mind boys taking pictures of me and stuff. I mean, it was a little bit forced upon, you know. They were doing it through the window, but whatever. I can pose for a picture any day. But yeah. Yeah, guys, also, she came over and told me that these 14-year-old boys were asking to use her vape. Bear in mind, she was like 20-something. And obviously, she said no. But yeah, they were all trying to act like they were old enough to, you know, borrow it. Guys, anyway, the moral of the story is, you know, be more like this queen that came to stick up for me. I didn't really need this, you know, but honestly... The whole moment was honestly iconic. But yeah, honestly, love that queen. For yeah, thanks. But guys, bear in mind, she was like super drunk. So like, even after all that, like she could barely even walk. And then she comes over strutting to like come help me. Like, I don't know, just the whole situation was so cute. And when she found out, you know, she knows who I am, it was so funny. Right guys, bye guys. Live is at 6 o'clock.
You definitely lost the argument First, you definitely lost that argument if you start bringing up things that the other person did years ago that you not only never confronted them about, but is also completely unrelated. Oh, I hurt you 3 hours ago. Well, you hurt me back in kindergarten, twin. First of all, how are you so afraid of being in the wrong and so afraid of confrontation to the point where you have to bring up something that happened before the dinosaurs? 2, how are they supposed to know if you never said anything until years later? If someone hurt your feelings, absolutely you should let them know. But make sure that you're not only letting them know because you're in trouble and you don't want to be the only person who feels bad. Next, you definitely lost the argument if you start talking about well, I'm sorry, you're just perfect. Okay. I mean, thank you. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but what? I'm gonna say no so that you feel better? I'm gonna say thanks so much. If you want to be sarcastic, we could all be sarcastic. Manipulation will always have the opposite effect on me. I'm not falling for any of it. Well, I guess I'm just stupid. Well, yes. You start crying some manipulative tears, I'm gonna start crying too. Of laughter. Because who's fallen for that? Just deflecting because you're allergic to an apology. Third, and probably the one that fries me the most, you definitely lost the argument if you hear the other person make a good point, and then all of a sudden you magically go from extremely defensive to, well, let's just agree to disagree. Just found out you were wrong, huh? There are some people who will say this to be the bigger person, but that's definitely not everybody. You were so defensive about your point that you called me the hard R 2 minutes ago, and now I'm supposed to believe that you're being the bigger person? Let's just keep it a buck. You found out you were wrong, and that's all right. This hair looks so goofy when it's pinned back. It's so cute though. This is the back to school hair, but we are finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
What is actually going on with TikTok? I used to love this app. It was so fun to me, and lately I've just been hating it. And I fear there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. Being a consumer of content and also a creator is just not what it used to be at all. So many of you guys are not seeing my videos anymore, and a lot of you are like, I think TikTok made me unfollow you, which I think is so true. I am losing thousands of followers monthly. It's almost as if when one person follows me, 3 unfollow me. But I actually think TikTok is doing it on purpose. I think they're removing followers on purpose. They're making views low on purpose so you buy from the app. Every time you post a video, TikTok will have this icon underneath like, get more views fast. And then you have an option to like buy more views for more engagement, for more followers. And I'm not doing that. Why would I spend money on getting things that I used to get organically? And then I'll post a video and I'll tag products that I like organically, and TikTok immediately thinks it's an ad and they'll take it off the For You page. They'll like completely shut the video down. It's like if you're not promoting TikTok Shop and shoving products down everyone's face, they're not gonna show your video.
And if you guys know me, you know I do not promote anything from TikTok Shop. That is just like not what I want, not my type of style. It just actually sucks, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been ever since the shutdown and America got a hold of it. It's the corporate greed, and it makes me sick. And not to mention, I have videos that get taken down for violating community guidelines. Guys, I do makeup. What community guideline am I violating? I'll obviously still post on here because I love you guys, and I do kind of still love it on here, but I'm gonna focus somewhere else. I'm thinking Instagram. So you guys should follow me on Instagram. It's the same name on here that it is on Instagram. And I know this is like such first world problems, but I miss you guys. Like I truly do. I just feel like the community is just not there anymore. But I am not one of TikTok's highly favored. They've always hated me. I've always struggled on here. Well, you guys, that's my rant for the day. This app needs to figure it out.
Get ready with me while I talk about how I told my parents I was pregnant at 15. If you guys haven't seen my last video, you guys should go watch it. I talked about how I found out I was pregnant at 15, and now I'm going to talk about how I told my parents. And before I even say anything, this is not a flex. This is not me trying to promote teen pregnancy. This is not me trying to show off. It is me simply saying I got pregnant with my daughter at 15. Unplanned pregnancies do happen, whether you're a teenager and whether you're an adult. They happened, and teen parents should not be dehumanized because they had a child young. Now let's get into it. If you guys haven't seen my last video, you guys should definitely go and watch it. That way you're caught up and you're not confused about what I'm going to say. So after I took my pregnancy test that Saturday morning, I went home and I took the rest of the day to just kind of keep it to myself and figure out what I'm going to do. I did call my best friend Peyton and tell her, but that was the only person I told. If you guys don't know, my stepdad is a pastor, so the next morning I got ready and went to church. At the time, I was teaching in the kids' room, so my sister was back there with me, and that's when I actually told my sister that I was pregnant. I told her and her friend Mallory, and they were dressed up in these costumes because we were about to go out on the stage and perform like the, what is it called? Hold on. It was some sort of skit for like Christmas. As we were leaving church, I got a hold of my stepbrother, who's literally the same age as me, and I told him, and I said, listen, when I go home, I'm going to tell my mom, but I need you there because my mom will probably like kill me. So after church, I was here, my stepbrother was in my room, and then my sister was in my room, who's a little bit younger than me, that I told at church. For those who ask what mascara I wear, this is the mascara. It's my favorite. After church, my mom would usually go on runs, especially if she's had like a rough day. So she was out on a run, and me, my brother, and my sister were planning on how I'm gonna tell my mom. I don't know why, but my sister wasn't in the room when I told my mom. So my sister went in her room. My mom came home, and she came up the stairs, and I said, Mom, can you come in my room? Like, I need to talk to you. You know when you're so nervous, you literally have not prepared anything to say? That's pretty much what my situation was. She literally sat down, and you could just tell that she knew. Like, she knew. I looked at her, and I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant. I just remember she looked at me and put her hands on her head and like looked down. And then the first thing she looked at me and said was, did you take a test? I didn't even say anything. I went over to my drawer, pulled out 4 tests, and I just set them down, and she just looked at them. Obviously, my mom was not thrilled. She ended up taking my phone, and I didn't really say anything, and then I was just in my room crying for a little bit. And for the people that do not know, yes, my parents are divorced. I still see my dad. He is very much involved in my life. I stay with him 50-50, but I mainly record at my mom's house. I did not want to tell my dad. I literally told my mom, I'm like, I'm not telling dad. And she left my room and called my dad. And then next thing you know, I get a knock on my door from my mom, and she's on the phone with my dad. If anyone knows anything about my dad, he does not call. He always FaceTimes. I was crying hysterically. My mom handed me the phone, shut my door, and I'm just looking at my dad on FaceTime, and he's with my stepmom, my mama, my papa, and they just are all looking at me. My dad's words to me were, we love you, it's okay, we're gonna get through this, and I have never felt so loved in that moment. After that, the next month and a half, I was puking minimum 8 times a day. It was very, very rough. I also was grounded for a month, and there was just a lot of things going on. A lot of you guys ask, why did my mom take my phone? And after a few months, we had finally talked about it because we were on like the outs for a long time. When we had talked about it, she basically told me that in that moment, there was nothing she could really do or say, and anything that she could take from me, because she felt like I was out of her reach and she couldn't do anything about it. She said that the one thing that she had control of was my phone, and she took that. Funny story, the first thing I actually said to my mom when I showed her the test was, I'm not getting rid of it.
So for the comments that said that I should have just done something about it, absolutely not. I knew from the first moment that I took that pregnancy test that I was not going to do anything about it. With me not being the smartest teenager, I knew what I was doing. I knew that there was not a full 0% chance that I was going to get pregnant. With that being said, if I was doing those adult actions, I'm going to take on the adult responsibility. Besides the point, my daughter's 2 now, I am 18, and I am so happy with how my life turned out, and I can never imagine my life without her. My first 3 to 4 months of my pregnancy were absolutely awful, probably one of the lowest points in life that I've ever been, so let me know if you want a story time on that. Feel free to drop some questions in the comments where I'm able to do some story times because I'm absolutely loving these. And to all of my haters that are about to drop me a very nasty comment, just know I love you guys so much because you dropping a comment boosts this video, makes me money, and makes it so I'm able to support my daughter. But I love you guys, bye.
Turning 21 means getting a new ID that you're going to have for a very long time, which means this picture needs to eat. So get ready with me to go to the DMV because your girl is turning 21 next week. This is the most important makeup I've ever done, do I dare say, in my entire life. It's definitely up there because when I got my driver's license for the first time, I absolutely hate my picture. And I have to look at it and hate it literally every single day. So I promise myself this is not going to be the case. We need to set really well. There cannot be any creasing and I don't want my face to look oily in this picture. I'm just so excited to be 21. Like, that's actually so crazy. It's a little bit scary saying that out loud because that feels like such an old age. Like, sometimes I still feel like I'm 16, especially now that I'm back in my childhood bedroom for the week. Like, I'm turning 21. That's actually insane. I feel like the older you get, the more your life just flies by. I feel like this last year my life went by so fast. Like, I just moved to LA and my lease is already up next week and I'm moving into another apartment and it feels like I just moved there yesterday. And to say I have no regrets is such an understatement. I feel like I've learned so much about myself this past year. Like, living across the country by yourself for the first time is such a surreal experience and I honestly wish everyone could experience that because the self-development goes crazy. And I feel like the past few months for me have been kind of a rough patch, but I think it's because I'm moving into this new chapter of my life and it's like you're still hanging on to this old identity that I feel like I've been transitioning out of for the past year. I don't know how to explain this feeling. It's just like the last year has been such a transition year and I feel like such serious and big steps are coming for me this next year. And it's really scary, but I'm super excited, especially because I'm moving into my new apartment next week. I feel like that's going to be such a good refresh for my 20s. I have a feeling that the next few months is going to be kind of like a bumpy transition. I feel like it's going to be really mentally challenging because I actually feel like I'm maturing in life and I actually have to step up and fill in the roles that I've been procrastinating about, especially when it comes to social media. I feel like I had such big goals this year. I was just my biggest enemy with that, so I feel like my new space will be really good for content. Crap, I forgot all my brushes for my eyeshadow, so I'm just gonna like dab some on with my finger. I feel like this makeup is actually turning out really good. I don't have a ring light in here, so sorry that the setup is not the best. So I might end up changing my shirt, but I feel like this is a good like headshot shirt. I don't know how to explain it, but I also like that it's white. Okay, I feel like I'm really liking the brown mascara, but I really want my eyes to pop, so I think I'm gonna go over it with black. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared for this license photo. Okay, love, now we're gonna set the face. I mean drenched, so we are covering my hair with this dress. Woo, oh my goodness. Wow, that looks flawless. Okay, then we're gonna do a lip stain. That way, in case I like fail with my reapplication, my lips will still look good. Well, I let that dry. I'm going to touch up my hair and put the rest of my outfit on, and then I'll be back to show you guys the final results. Okay, and boom, I'm all ready. Here is the final hair and makeup. Outfit-wise, I'm just wearing this white top and jeans and my flip-flops that match this purse. I really hope my hair and makeup last because I'm going to the chiropractor first, and then after we're going to look at a new boat. So super duper excited, but I gotta go, so peace out. Love you.
Story time of my dad banning me from owning lights because of my reading addiction. When I was in elementary school, I had a really strict bedtime of 8:30 p.m. and then 9 p.m. in middle school and 10 p.m. when I got to high school. All of my electronics had to be turned in an hour before I went to bed. I guess I wasn't very happy about this rule because I did not want to go to bed during my bedtime, you know. I wanted to stay up, especially on weekends. I started off with just, reading with the light on after he left and tucked me to bed. My dad does hallway checks. He comes into the hallway every 10 minutes to make sure that my light isn't on after my bedtime. So every time he would come to the hallway and I would hear his footsteps, I would run to turn off my light and I would never make it in time. Obviously, he would find out. My next strategy was to use a flashlight and just, read in the dark. Came into my room for a second to do one of my alarm checks, which he also does. If you watch my rules my strict dad has for me video, he sets my alarm and checks them. It's confusing, but yeah. He banned all flashlights from me. but you know, I wasn't going down. After he did that, you want to know what I did? I started using my sunset lamp as a flashlight under my blanket. The sunset lamp was slightly too bright. During one of my dad's hallway checks, he like went in to investigate and he caught me red-handed. So then he took my sunset lamp and every single light that I own, obviously except for the one that's installed in my room, because how was he gonna take that? I ordered a reading light from Shein, and the stupid thing came in the package that said reading light on the front. Way to snitch on me. And my mom saw the package and she told my dad. So my dad obviously took that too. Any normal person would stop. But I guess I just did not want to stop. I started reading in the bathroom because here's the thing. Even when I have to go to the bathroom at night and there's just like a teeny bit of noise, my dad will run in and check and be like, what's happening? Because he stays outside the hallway and camps out my room. What I ended up doing is I would hide books in the bathtub of the bathroom or under the bathroom mat. I would just hide them in the bathroom, and then when my dad would come out, be like, what are you doing? Why'd you open the door? I'd just be like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom, and it'd be all chill. That worked until this one time. Same thing. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, just using the bathroom. I guess 20 minutes later, he decided to check on me for whatever reason. And what do you know? I was still in the bathroom with the light on. He started pounding on the door like, open up, open up. And I have never felt more fear in my entire life. He did catch me reading again, and I don't think I ever tried again after that. Thankfully now I can read whenever I want, and I have ownership to all my lights again because he moved out. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you why you should trust your man. You're fucking stupid. Don't be fucking trusting no fucking man. They all fucking lied some way or shape or form. Actually tell you a story time of when I slashed his tires and why I did it. It all started because I was normally going through his phone, because like we all do, we go through their phone. That's super normal, guys. That's so normal for you to go through your man's phone, because what's his is yours. So therefore, and you're just like just doing the casual protecting, just in case some scammers come through, just deleting those shits. He doesn't need that on his phone. So I was doing that. I was like checking his phone at night, and at night because I would like to do it at night just because there was no issues, like he wasn't like bothered, or it was just better at night. Like honestly, at night the light's better, everything's quiet, no one's like there's no distraction. Sometimes I had a tendency of like turning off his location, so I turn on his snap location, and just for me, and just in case like his normal location would fuck up, because sometimes he said it would fuck up, and I didn't want it to fuck up, just in case, because like I don't want nothing happening to him, of course, like nothing crazy. So then in some weird way, I don't know how I ended up on the block list. I don't know why, but when they block somebody recently, it goes all the way to the top in the block list, because I had it memorized, because one time like the phone like just almost self-destruct, and we didn't want that to happen again. So just in case, I just wanted to make sure his block list was normal. So it would look a little different, and it was a new person. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's weird. But about it, like I wasn't gonna blame him yet, because a guy's always right. They never do nothing wrong. They're like the most precious thing in the world. So then of course, like I unblock her, I try to add her back, but there was nothing. They had talked like maybe a couple of hours before him getting home, which was cool. Like, maybe something happened, she was bothering him, he said no, fuck off, who knows, who. So then I let it go, of course, and I was just like, whatever, let it go. And so the next morning, all of a sudden in the afternoon, like I'm telling you, the phone would just sometimes the location would come off, like he said, and that's understandable because Apple always fucks up, right? Yeah. But no worries. I didn't tell him because like I always take care of things. I was like, no worries, babe. Like, don't worry about it. So, I was going to let it go. And then I just show up to like where the location was that I had from Snapchat, because of course his location was fucking up, which that's why I said no worries, because I got it. And I really told him I got it. Like, no worries. Like, as in I got it. As in like I have your other location. But I don't think he understood that. So then I show up to location, and it's like an apartment complex. So I was like, okay. Maybe he's buying something, a little dime or something. I don't know. Maybe he switched up his plug. Maybe he's looking at the apartments at 9 o'clock at night. Maybe he was like seeing if it was good for us or something. So then I go knock on the door. I'm like, hello, babes, open up. And a girl comes to the door, and I'm just like, so just because I didn't want to cause a scene, and I could have been wrong, and maybe they were kidnapping him, I just thought like maybe they kidnapped him at that point. So then I acted like a door dasher, and I was like, hi, yes, this is an order for Caitlin. Mind you, the name on the snap was Andrea, and she was like, no, my name is Andrea, I'm not Caitlin. That's when I fucking knew he was a lying piece of shit. He was a lying piece of shit, and he was in that motherfucking house, and it was a motherfucking Snapchat booth. I'm just kidding, and it's not what you guys think. So I was wrong. So comes to find out, it wasn't Andrea. Seen around with Andrea's mom. Yeah. Mind you, at the time, I was a good 19 years old. So he was my age. He loved grown cooch. He didn't want the young one. He wanted the older one. And I just didn't give her the order, obviously, because that wasn't her order. There was no order, obviously. I take my little butt outside and I slashed him. Because now Andrea's mom can get him new tires. Because, you know, she got it like that. She do. And at the time, I was 19, so I was, like, young and dumb and reckless. I also, prior to that, had another boyfriend who showed me how to take off rims off of cars. So with that talent that I knew, I took off the rims and took him valid. I did not do nothing with him. I took him to his mom's house, and then I told her what he had did. Because the rims were under his mom's name, so I just gave them back to her, and I told her what her son did. Obviously, she was mad, and obviously, she was like, yeah, yeah. So nothing was ever told to me because of what I did. Because valid, and I was a great fucking girlfriend because I was just protecting him. What the fuck, rude ass fuck. The blush is Cheek Lishi, by the way, and e.l.f. such an amazing blush. And if y'all want to know, yes, he's still with Andrea's mom. They had kids together. Then she cheated on him. And then she texted me and apologized. But I was like, I hope you guys enjoyed my Get Ready With Me. I know I did, so let me know what you guys think if you guys want another Get Ready With Me.
Stop missing my fucking name. Like they keep missing. You shut up. Just shut up. Be a fucking man and shut
People should cover themselves in makeup.
Aaron, stop.
And you're going in on.
This is a great start, a great year, right? A great start for my senior year. Like, bro, we're seniors. Okay, cut me off, but we're seniors and y'all acting like y'all are in middle school. Like, grow the fuck up and be boys. Like, okay, so what had happened was that it's my first period class, and off the bat, like on the first day, like I already knew it was going to be some BS, because on the first day they want to come up to me and be like, hey, I heard something about you. What you hear about me? This whole summer I've been in my room bed rotting. So that's how I knew it was going to be some bullshit. So in the video you can't really hear because my audio is bad, but they was literally just yelling across the classroom like, oh, you're ugly, you ran through, you're a hoe. Like, just like, y'all don't even know me. This is my first time seeing y'all in my 4 years of high school. My first time seeing y'all. Like, stuff like that. I slept with the football players, blah blah blah. They also was like saying like, oh, you're ugly, you cover yourself in makeup. Boy, do I look like I do this for your short ass? I do not want you. I do this for the girls and myself. Like, don't ever think I'm putting on makeup for you. Never. Don't ever think that. It's for me and the girls only. Like, and mind you, while all this is happening, the teacher is over here being like, guys, stop it. Like, she's not even, stop that. Guys, that's not funny. Like, girl, be a fucking teacher. Stop trying to be a cool teacher. No. In certain situations, it's time to step up. Like, and be a fucking teacher. Stop trying to be cool with everybody. With the kids. You can't really hear, but because I recorded like too late. Mind you, half of this was happening like half of the class period. This has been going on for like the first hour of class. Our class is an hour and 30 minutes. So this was like literally happening in the first hour of class. Mind you, it's been happening since the first day of school. Like, and the teacher literally did nothing. She's trying to be one of them cool teachers who's on the guy's side. Okay. And I'm like, girl, like, what the fuck? And after that was happening for like the first half of class, another teacher walked in. It was a male. He was the basketball coach of our school. And he walked in. Me and him is pretty cool. Like, I talked to him. Like, we know each other. Like, just like a student-teacher bond. He came in the classroom, saw what was happening. He told them to stop. Like, actually, like, guys, stop it. Like, the fuck are y'all doing? And that's when he was about to leave class because he had somewhere else to be. And I was like, if you go
it cut me off again. But yeah, I told him, I was like, if you go, they just gonna keep talking, keep doing this dumb shit, like, the fuck. And then he was like, okay, I guess I'm not leaving, I'm just staying here then. And when he said that, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, bro, I love you so much, man. You don't understand. And he stayed for like, I would say 20 minutes, and then he got up and left. But it's the fact that another teacher had to come in and actually do the fucking job. When there's a teacher in the classroom just listening, laughing when they are saying shit about another student. That is so weird to me. Oh, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't. I want to shoot. Yeah, I'm joking. Then after that, I went to my second period. It was fine. I went to my third period, and that's when I left third period to go find one of my other like comfort teachers. And I told her everything what happened. And y'all, I ain't gonna lie, when I was telling her, I kind of cried. And I think me crying made it a big deal, because like she literally went to every like assistant principal, and I was like, I just want my schedule changed. I just don't want to be in that class no more. But y'all, I hate my school. They don't listen to kids. Like, schools don't listen to bullying, like, what's it called? Bullying statements. Okay, I'm gonna just say victims. Schools don't listen to bully victims until it's too late. Until they out of KYS or like drop out of school. Like, that is what I hate. The assistant principals and stuff was just like, we can't change your schedule. I'm gonna leave y'all in there for a week, and if it keeps happening, then I'm gonna talk to the boys. What the fuck are you gonna talk to the boys for? What are you gonna talk to them for? Like, genuinely. You think they give a fuck? No, they will not give a fuck. Like, they just gonna make it worse. Just get me out of that damn class. Like, that's all y'all have to do. It's not that hard. Not that hard. They making it harder than it should be. And mind y'all, it's just the third day of school. This all happened in the span of 2 days. Like, I know it's not too late to change my schedule. They just don't want to change it for some reason. It's so weird. Like, I hate the school system. I hate the way it's set up. And I just hate. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera and start doing my hair. No, because I just remember something. You want to know what also fucking pissed me off? Okay, so, like, I ain't gonna lie, I told, like, 5 different teachers about what happened, because, like, I am so good with the teachers. Like, the teachers at my school love me, and I love the teachers. I hate the kids, but I love the teachers. And I told, like, 5 different teachers what happened. Okay, y'all ignore that. That's my dad's alarm. But, yeah, like, at the end of 4th period, like, before the bell dismissed us, she want to pull me out of class and be like, girl, like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was happening. Like, I barely heard what they were saying. They just ramble. Girl, you heard what they were saying. It was going on for half of class. Even the other teacher that came in, he knew it right away. He came in and was like, guys, stop it. Like, how, like, let's be real. You was laughing when they was making fun of me and saying all this stuff. Like, no. Okay, I'm done with my makeup. Time for me to do my hair. Okay, I'm all done with my hair. Now it's time for me to get ready to go back to fucking hell.
Get ready with me as a teen mom. I'm going to hang out with my friend today. She's also a mom, so it makes things so much easier. But they do rile each other up. Like, if one's crying, then the other one starts crying. My friend's baby is normally the chill one, and Boston, he just acts up. Especially when we're inside stores or when we're out eating. Normally he's pretty good, but one time we were in Ross and he was crying the whole time. Normally I could just feed him and he'll be fine, but he was screaming so loud. Like, you know that scream where nothing you do helps? And everybody in Ross was looking at me like, and I'm like, girl, babies cry, okay? I'm sorry. And I was like bouncing him around, trying to calm him down. I was so stressed out. Sometimes I feel like being a mom literally makes me crazy. If I'm away from my baby, like showering or in a different room, or when I'm trying to go to sleep and I'm not looking directly at him, I swear I can hear him crying or like moving around. I hear it, and then I turn around and he's completely fine. The other night, I could not sleep at all because every time I would turn around, I would hear him crying, and then I would look and he would be dead asleep. And I kept waking up and looking and waking up and looking, and Abel was like, dude, he's fine, like, go to sleep. But I've heard that happens with other moms too. It's called like phantom cries. Or like I'll be in the shower and I hear him cry and I'll hurry up real quick to get out. And then I come out here and he's fine. Sometimes I feel like I can predict when he's about to cry because I'll hear it. And then I'll go out there and he'll start crying a little bit after. But most of the time, I'm just delusional. I'm so grateful that I have a mom friend because I feel like especially as a young mom, it's so important to go out and like get away from your house for a little bit. Especially with all the postpartum things that can happen, like you need to leave and go with your friends even if your baby is with you. If you guys are struggling with finding a mom friend, I would definitely recommend going on looking at some Facebook groups. There's this thing called Google Meetups. There's some groups on there too, or just like mommy and me classes and things like that because it's so important. I'm lucky enough that I met this friend at school and we were pregnant at the same time, and our babies are 2 months apart, which is literally the cutest. I'm probably gonna vlog with her today because she wants to start TikTok as well. And for all of you guys commenting on my baby bed video saying that 6 months olds can't independently play, you guys are dead wrong because my baby has been sleeping in that playpen bed that I made him for a couple weeks now. And he wakes up and like plays with whatever I put in there for a while before he cries and wakes us up. And it is literally so helpful because we get that few extra minutes of sleep. He is also crawling, you guys. Like, I didn't want to officially say like he's crawling, but today he definitely has been. He would just take a few little crawling steps here and there, but now he can actually get around crawling. If you guys are struggling with a newborn or a younger baby, let me tell you, it will get easier because as soon as my baby could confidently sit up and now that he's crawling, it's so much easier to get things done because I could just put him down wherever on the floor and he'll entertain himself while I'm doing whatever. Instead of having to have him in your arms 24/7. Today we're going to try and get the babies some little baby bracelets, like the nice ones with their name on it or something. So I'm hoping the jewelry place that we go to has those. It might be a little bit pricey, but I figured that we could add to it and like make it bigger as he gets older. This is pretty much the finished look. I just have to set it because it's so hot outside and I'd be sweating off my makeup. Sometimes I use my baby's fan to dry my setting spray. Recently, I've been loving a dark lip liner with a baby pink lip gloss. That's just so pretty to me. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all and I'll see you later. Bye.
My first husband tried to off himself and me when I asked for a divorce, but ended up paralyzed instead, so story time. This story is about my first husband. Yes, there's multiple. You know what they say, third time's the charm. So a little bit of a backstory. I got married when I was 18 years old to somebody who was 10 years older than me. Yes, stupid, I know, but what can you do about it now? I was definitely going through some shit, so that's how this all happened. I met him at the pizza shop that I worked at, and honestly, when I first met him, I couldn't stand him. Everybody that worked at the pizza shop lived in this big 2-story house, and we all rented rooms. Eventually, he rented a room as well. We started talking, and one thing led to another. I was unaware of his past, and what I mean by his past is he was a felon, had been to prison, and I also didn't know that he was physically abusive to the women in his life in the past. We started dating, and eventually we moved out of that house into a home of our own, and pretty much right from the beginning, he was very controlling. This man would tell me what I could wear, who was my friend, where could I go. I always had to wear like board shorts and big baggy t-shirts. There was plenty of times where I wanted to leave, but I ended up staying for his kids. We got full custody of his 2 kids. They were about 2 and 3 years old, and I really loved those kids like they were my own, so they were my main reason for sticking it out, because not only was he mean to me, he was really mean to the kids. He had a really short fuse when it came to us. I remember one time in particular, it was my birthday. I received a happy birthday text message from one of our mutual friends. This friend just happened to end up being male, and my husband flew off the handle and snapped my cell phone. Mind you, this wasn't a random friend. This was a close friend of both of ours that was at our house often. I'm really cutting this down, but I'll do a longer version later. But after years of physical and emotional abuse, I gathered up enough courage to tell him that I wanted a divorce, and he basically told me he was going to do away with my mother if I left him. And honestly, I had seen all the terrible things that this man had done, and I believed him, so I stayed. Unfortunately, like a year after I tried to leave, and he threatened to harm my mom, she ended up passing away. At that point, I really didn't didn't have much to lose. And about 6 months later, I told him that I wanted a divorce. Over the years, he had definitely calmed down, and his physical abuse had shifted to more of like emotional abuse, punching holes in walls, breaking my cell phone. This time, he suggested that I go stay at my sister's because he thought maybe some time apart would give me a change of heart. After spending about a week at my sister's house, he showed up with the kids, basically telling me if I didn't take him back, he was going to off himself. At the time, he drove a truck, and I drove one of those Nissan 350Zs. It was like a two-seated sports car that went pretty fast. My keys were on the counter, and we were standing in the kitchen as we were talking. For some reason, we both ended up looking down at my keys at the same time. We both grabbed the keys at the same time and were pulling them back and forth. The little key ring ended up breaking. I ended up with the fob, and he ended up with the actual key. He ran out of the apartment, and I followed behind him. He had thrown his keys down, and I grabbed him when we ran out the door. We were parked right next to each other. I jumped into his truck and backed it up in an attempt to block him in. He had made his way to the driver's seat of my car, and when he saw that I blocked him in, he walks over to the passenger side of the truck and he hits the window, and somehow the window fell off the track. Then he jumped into the truck through the window, took the keys out of the ignition. I had not parked close enough to block him in completely, so a 1,000,000-point turn would have got him out of there. I ran around to the passenger side of the car, at which point he tried to grab me and drag me into the car, telling me things like we were done. And when he said done, he wasn't talking about our marriage, he was talking about our life. I was able to throw myself on the ground and like roll away out of his grip, at which point I called 911 and told them that he was going to harm himself. He was able to do like a 1,000-point turn and get out of there before the cops arrived. This started a high-speed chase, at which point he called me. I was still on the phone with the 911 operator, and they advised me not to answer. He ended up leaving me a voicemail, basically telling me goodbye, blaming it on me, making sure his kids knew that I was the reason they didn't have a father. When I tell you everything this man did was always calculated and a mind fuck, this is the same man who had sexual relations with my sister, took pictures, and saved them until my birthday to email them to me. From what the police told me, they ended up hitting speeds of about 140 miles an hour, at which point it appeared that he was intentionally trying to put a telephone pole into the driver's seat. When he was driving down the road, he ended up making a turn at about 140 miles an hour. He hit the telephone pole and it snapped. It was actually still standing after the wreck, and the car ended up rolling about 16 times, and during all of this, he ended up going out the window. He ended up being airlifted. He was awake and coherent, but he was pretty banged up. When I got to the hospital, they told me he was asking for me. I don't know what I was expecting when I got back there, but it definitely wasn't what I got. When I went back into the room, I let his cousins go back with me. One of them, who was always really rude to me for no reason, but being nice and considering this was really traumatic, I let them go back with me. Led me back to my husband, who was laying on a stretcher. He had one of those little things on his neck. I walked up to him. The very first thing he said to me is, "This is all your fault." When I tell you, I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't that. Not to mention, his cousin was there like petting his hand, telling me it was all my fault. He ended up breaking his back during the wreck. It was a complete break, and he's paralyzed from about the nipples down. He had also smashed the back of his head. They did emergency surgery that night to stop the brain bleed, and about 5 days later, when he was in stable condition, they did surgery on his back. He will never walk again. This was in 2009, and he is still completely wheelchair bound. Out of guilt, I ended up staying with him for a few months, and we were like in a rehab facility. It was absolutely terrible, as you can imagine, and the final straw was when he took a butter knife from the cafeteria and later tried to get me with it, at which point I packed up, I left, and I was done. I left a lot of gaps in this story because I have to get going, but I'll do a long, detailed version later this week for you.
These are things I will never do for a man, ever. Number one is change how I act or how I dress or stop wearing makeup simply because he doesn't like it. I will never do that for a man. I think that is disgusting behavior if they try to change you. You're who you are for a fucking reason. If your man is trying to change you, then he doesn't love you for you and you should find somebody else. I'll never understand men getting with somebody knowing how they are, and then as soon as they start dating, they try to change them. I think that's crazy and controlling and disgusting. Next, I used to do this all the time, and I very much regret it because it made me look like such a fucking loser, but I'll never beg a man to stay ever again, and that's just that on that. If a man is leaving you, it's because he's unhappy, and if he's unhappy, he's gonna treat you terribly in the relationship, so just let him go, honestly. If you'll find somebody who's better anyway, somebody who actually treats you right, somebody who actually wants you and loves you for you. You know what, it may take time to find somebody else, but that's okay. It's better to take time than to be stuck in a relationship with somebody who clearly wants nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? I will never ever dumb myself down for a man. I don't know what it is with men liking dumb women, but I will never be that bitch. And I'll never dumb myself down for him. And I honestly think it's crazy that there's women out there that actually will dumb themselves down for a guy. It's just kind of like, what's the point of doing that? Is it so he can control you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if they see you as dumb, they see you as easy to control, and I just wouldn't want to be controlled by a man. Obviously, we kind of already went over that. Never again will I ever give a man girlfriend treatment without them making me their girlfriend. Like, if I'm in a talking stage or a situationship, you're not getting girlfriend treatment from me unless you actually make it official. Like, I'm tired of being used. It's fucking exhausting. You have no idea. And 9 times out of 10, they don't actually end up cuffing you anyway. So it's just kind of like, what the fuck was the point? Like, wasting my time, wasting my energy. Hello. And lastly, I'll never, ever, ever again pretend to be okay with something that clearly hurts me. I just feel like there's no point in trying to spare his feelings when I'm clearly hurting. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Communication in a relationship is very important. If one of you is unhappy, then the relationship is gonna go to shit. And also, my feelings are just as important as his are, so I should be able to communicate when I'm feeling down or when I don't like something that he said or did or something like that.